Wetin dey sup, eh? Guru Maraji, wetin dey shele, eh? What is he saying? Again, he said don't they come out to Guru Maraji, Sadguru Maraji. He said labor leaders should be arrested now for treasonable felony and economic sabotage. Ah, in what way? Eh? The living perfect master and founder of One Law family, Sadguru Maraji, has said that they planned strike by labor leaders to force another shutdown from next week if the government does not agree to a minimum wage amounts to economic sabotage and blackmail of the government, and as a result they should be arrested for trying to cover up the aggression against the country for attacking the national grid. Is that what you are supposed to be saying? I'm sure you are not hungry. Maybe members of your families are not hungry. They are not feeling the heat. The question is that why is it that you cannot tell the government to do the needful so that this will not happen? Tell the government not to do that, because all those ones say now pattern now the yarn. People want to protest. You say they don't have the right to protest. Oh, hoodlums will hijack the protest. They want to do this. Don't do that. So if you don't want them to shut down the national grid, the best thing is for you to tell the government to do the needful, and everybody will have peace. Everybody will have peace. Recall Nigeria's trade unions last week went on a national or nationwide strike, shutting down the country's power grid and disrupting flights as they resorted to drastic measures to press the government to hike minimum wages amid a cost of living crisis. The labor union suspended the indefinite strike on Tuesday after government officials invited them for negotiations as the industrial action affected power supply for the country's 200 million people and stranded thousands due to flight cancellations, as if they get the lights before. Labor officials, for the first time in Nigeria's long history of strikes, went to substations housing the country's electricity grids, chased workers home, and cut off power supply nationwide. This is a heinous crime and a mutiny against the state, just like attacking the defense headquarters, the Senate or the House of Representatives, or attacking the Chief of Defense Staff and so on of the nation. When they go NDA, when some bandits went to NDA to go do wetin they go do till today, why they never fit arrest them? So because you see this one is a soft target, they should just go and arrest him for what? The government that cannot cater for his people, is that what do you call that? The government that is owing workers, the government that has caused a lot of hardship on the people, the government through their hardship, their policies, they've injured, they've harmed a lot of people. How do you categorize them? They are good. Well, all airports, including 2 international ones, were shuttered. Workplace and schools were closed and health services were disrupted. Crude oil production, Nigeria's bread and butter, was also paralyzed, likely amounting to a loss of millions of dollars. This was contained in a press statement by Sadguru Maraji through the One Love Family Minister for Information, Ujo Mugbadewa, at the weekend and made available to newsmen at the weekend. Maraji said that going on strike again will cause negative repercussions of the overall economy. Me, I see the year we see the man they talk, whether it will make sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, all the things he's been saying since, they do not make any sense as far as I'm concerned. Why the arguments put forward by the NLC and TUC on their decisions to embark on the indefinite strike are well noted. There's need to tread with caution on account of negative repercussions on the overall economy. Abandoning negotiations and shutting down the country will have untold hardship on all segments of the country. This hard stance will also fatally impact on the survival, resilience, productive capacity, and competitive advantage of the more than 39 million strong MSMs ecosystem, he said. Maraji explained that the MSMCs contribute significantly to economic stability through job and wealth creation, as they account for 48% of Nigeria's GDP and 84% of employment. He called on the labor leaders to shed his sword and go back to negotiating table. They should stop threatening lives of Nigerian workers. According to Maraji, it is the fourth time Nigerian workers have been striking since May last year when President Tinubu was first elected. Last August, resident doctors demanded better pay, went on a 3-week strike that ravaged the public health sector in defiance to a restraining court order barring them from embarking on the industrial action, and we are yet to determine those who lost their lives. The two major unions, NLC and TUC, had last year declared a strike action following the brutalization of the NLC president Joe Ajaero in Imo State on 1st of November. Mr. Ajaero was attacked in Owerri and state capital during an NLC protest against the Imo State government over alleged maltreatments for workers in the state. This is despite the restraining order issued by the National Industrial Court in Abuja on Friday, stopping the labor union for embarking on the strike. What a leader disobeying court order. Going on strike again is an illegal and unwarranted act, a blackmail of the government. Joe Ajaero and his gang are not economists, and worse, they are supporters of Peter Obi. They endorsed him during the election. They campaigned for him. They defended him. Please assume I am a liar and fact check me. They are fighting a proxy war for Peter Obi. Obviously, the 2027 election is affecting their direction. They do not have economic agenda. They have a political objective. Where there is no motive, strike is done perfectly okay with workers carrying placards to present their protest letter to the authorities concerned. Mark you, this is not the first time this group of men called the labor leaders have tried to cause trouble in some states. Remember how, in spite of court order to stop strike few days to the elections in one of the eastern states, the NSC president disobeyed and he nearly lost his life. We can remember vividly when, well, during the oil windfall, the workers demanded to for payments 18,000 naira in 2008 are recommended. In Anambra, the then governor failed because the labor group who were visiting the state compromised, which led to the labor leaders being bribed, but the salary awarded was not given. Some had gifts of bus, while local labor leaders were given free tickets to the Israel Holy Land. The unpatriotic zeal and mischievousness of the labor leaders influenced the government to hijack pension scheme for workers into the Fidelity Bank, and up till now, workers have not even been paid while we wait for another Ngonu Ojike to resurrect to help them. Is this these people that are, is it Guru Maraji that is writing all this all this all this jagbajantis? Can you just imagine? Okay, now so this is what it is. But in all of this, I was waiting for this man to tell us that oh, government, you to do the needful. No, so it's all about Peter Obi. Wow. I see. How can a labor leader who compromise with the governors become the spokesman of workers at this crucial time? We got it. So guys, let's know what you think and have your take on this.